Hi, I'm Siren. I'm an animator and an illustrator. I also like to redesign characters from established series, like my own, and also Ben 10 and Danny Phantom. If you follow me on Tumblr, you would have probably seen my Tucker redesign, which is still very popular. I still see people reblogging it. Thank you! It makes me feel validated. Anyways, Deltora Quest was written by Emily Rodda in the early 2000s, to then be adapted into a manga series, and then further along the line, an anime series which had a 2010 release. When I saw the trailer for this show, I thought it was the shit. I was excited. It made me go to school and read. Crazy. I don't read. I can't read. I'm dyslexic. But I did it anyways. I read a book a day and it was incredible. And I loved the show so much as a kid that when I tried to rewatch it like a couple of months ago, I hate it. It's awful. Nostalgia is truly a bitch, isn't it? So the premise of this video is me making the show into something I like. So why don't you join me as I reboot this whole fucking shitfest? I completely forgot to mention what Deltora Quest is about. Deltora Quest is about 3 characters, Lief, Barda, and Jasmine, along with their 2 little sidekick companion things, Philly and Cree, embarking on a quest to bring back the gems to the Belt of Deltora to defeat the evil Shadow Lord. Ooh, so spooky. The first character to be rebooted is Leif. So in this show, he's smart, he's overconfident, he's a sort of skilled swordsman, and a blacksmith. His design is a little meh. His character, meh. He's just kind of a meh main character, you know? I mean, when I was a kid, I thought he was a hot shit. But as an adult, you just kind of look back and go, there are better characters. But what really drew me to Leif was just, I actually have no idea. Nothing really drew me to him. He was the main character, and for some reason I vibed with him. When I played Pretend, I would be Leif. Could it be a early onset to me discovering my trans identity? I don't know. So, I want to reboot his personality to start with. He's a himbo, a dumbass. Street smart, yes, but barely. He can solve riddles, he does have a little intelligence there, but it's hidden behind his himbo-ness. He has a strong love for beetles, because I have a strong love for beetles. And look, I'm being a little self-indulgent with Leif, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's how I do all my characters. And to add on to his story a little, at the beginning of the series, Leif was just a street rat. You know, he has parents at home that love him dearly, of course, but mostly he wandered the streets in search of just entertainment, because Deltora was under the rule of the Shadow Lord, and his sexy no-pants wearing grey guards. He and his gallivanting group of friends would head to the outskirts of the town and play with beetles. They would place bets as the Hercules beetles would fight each other and fling themselves off the rock. I'm taking part of this from Genshin Impact. If you know about Genshin Impact, you know which character I'm stealing this from. If you don't, that's fine. This is a completely original idea then. Upon finding out about his interest to beetles, his parents decided that when they send their child off to a death-embarking quest, they better make him like it. And so, his father bestowed upon him a beetle sword, and his mother, a beetle cloak. Honestly, when I designed this sword, I had no idea what I was doing, and I think it'd be usable if you were to use it in real life, but that's okay if it's not. This is a fantasy thing, and fantasy's fantasy. Now, in the book, Leif's cloak was described to be not invisible, but it just blended in with its surroundings at all time, to which I thought was boring. Like, I like the idea of in the anime thing, he would like wrap the cloak around him and become invisible. But I wanted to add an extra touch. So not only does he become invisible, but if he holds his breath, he will be able to go through things. And I am taking this idea from Mo. I don't actually know how to pronounce the name, but it's a manga series. It's really good. I highly recommend it. It's very cool. As I was designing this character, I didn't realize how snatched I made his waist. So you're gonna see that, and yeah, oopsie doodle. Now, as I said before, his character design was a bit meh, so I decided to change that. Like, in the book series, he was described to be a brunette, so I did take that idea. Not because I don't like blonde hair, but because I thought bright, striking red hair was really cool. I gave him like the standard fantasy clothes, like nothing very interesting, but at least a little more shape-driven than his original clothing choice in the anime. And that wraps Leif up. Onto Barda. Honestly, I did not give Barda the credit he so truly deserves. I mean, he's a father figure of the group, but I just call him Daddy. So Barda's just, yeah, as I said, he's a father figure. He's a white old man. He's a wise old man. But a bit controversial, shall I say. In the beginning of the show, he looks out for Leif. Like, he makes sure Leif is on the right track for his parents, because his parents saved Barda, and of course Barda owes it to them to make sure their son is okay and well. And originally, Leif's dad was supposed to be the one to embark on this quest, but due to an injury, he cannot. So instead of sending out Leif's mother, who, you know, she's capable, I think she's capable, they decide to wait until their son is grown up to a 16-year-old to send him out. As for Barda's personality, I basically kept it the same. I like his personality. I like how he's so calm and rational. I like how he's like, I don't know, the best way I can describe it is a polar bear. Not because, like, he's a polar bear, but, I mean, he's got the bear look, but he's cold, but not ice cold. He's personable, but not too personable. To add on to the whole polar bear thing, I also added some lion/bear motifs into his design. You know, he's got the heart of the lion, the size of the bear, you know, just general stuff. And his sword has a lion, a little lion's paw, and I thought that was really cute. So, yeah, designing swords is not my strong thing, but, you know, I'm getting there. I think it looks good. So for his clothing, look, I don't understand why Barda's clothes are so nice in Deltora Quest, because, you know, they should be tattered. They should be tattered but noble clothes, because prior to Deltora's takeover by the Shadow Lord, he was a captain. And so to reflect that, I gave him some noble looking captain clothes. They're giving vibes of a character from Game of Thrones, kind of. But I actually never watched Game of Thrones, so all I can say is they give vibes, but I can't pinpoint the character. But yeah, the clothes are tattered. He's put on a bit of weight too, because, you know, he hasn't really been able to exercise that much, because he's been pretending to be a homeless man this whole time. And even if he did get to exercise, how is he gonna exercise? The guards are watching, like, over Deltora 24/7. All in all, I really like Barda's design. His design is probably my favorite out of all three, or all five. it gives daddy vibes, okay? I really like Barda. I wish I gave him the same amount of love as I did as a child. Jasmine. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Jasmine was my least favorite character in Deltora Quest. She just seemed really annoying and snooty for whatever reason. But let's fix her up a little so she meets my vibes. So to preface, Jasmine's an orphan. You know, her parents basically moved to the Forest of Silence when she was a baby, or just about born. And then when she was 7, her parents were killed by this worm thing. I forgot what it's called. So to change that, we're going to give her childhood trauma to her much earlier. So her parents are dead at 4, and they were killed by like the Grey Guards or the worm thing. Don't really care, they were just dead, and she may or may not have witnessed that. So now she's less eloquent in her vibes and more feral because she didn't have parental guidance at that very important stage of her life. So now she's very feral, very aggressive. She will rip your face off if she so chooses. I also made a buff for whatever reason. I mean, I love the character, I love the shape language I gave to her. As I said, she's very, very hot-tempered, very quick to anger. She is incredibly loyal to her friends though. She cares for nature, she can talk to animals, she understands the trees. She wants the best for the environment, but she just doesn't understand how she can do it. With normal outside of the Forest of Silence stuff, like, you know, towns and civilization, she's very nervous and quiet. She doesn't understand it. She doesn't have a true grasp of it. For her weapon, I gave her a dagger. Like, I know in the anime she had a dagger, but I gave her a dagger and her dagger was taken by one of the Grey Guards. And even though they're called Grey Guards, I decided to add some flexible gold because I thought it looked nice. I think the Grey Guards just need to not be so grey. For her clothes, what really bugged me, like extremely bugged me in the anime, was that her clothing was pink. Despite the fact that in the book, her clothes were taken from Grey Guards. Grey. Why are they pink? So, I mean, I know I just said the Grey Guards shouldn't be so grey, but their clothing can be grey, their weapons can have a little colour. So why on earth is it pink? So to fix that, I made the clothes more grey, and I also made it a little bit more raggedy instead of whatever the hell Jasmine's wearing in the anime. Like, honestly, what the fuck is that? And I mean, I understand the whole brace things, because if you've ever had to deal with any bird that's like not a parrot, when they land on you, it can hurt. I used to own a butcher bird. His name was Haugen, and even though he was like a little guy, he had some sharp claws and a sharp beak. As for her hair, I also never understood Jasmine's hair. It was strange. It seemed a bit too neat. So I decided to give it a couple of colors. And just for it to be very knotted. Like, my idea is that she wants it to be straight. And she did try to clean it up at one point. Like, she's braided it here and there. And she tied it up. And then she found that it became knotted. And so she gave up on it and just let it grow out like that. I just think it looks really fun. Which leads me into my next character, Cree. Now, Cree is a raven. However, I do not agree with that, so therefore Cree is a crow. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Cree's a sweet little guy who died for his mother, which is Jasmine. When Jasmine found Cree, Cree was a baby and his parents were dead. So she raised Cree from a young bird into a bigger bird. And look, I never vibed with him being a raven crow thing. I just thought it was a little bit boring, especially for a fantasy anime book series. So I decided to spruce him up a little, at the very least, and I hybridized him. I love bearded vultures, and so I decided to add a splash of bearded vulture to him. And I think it looks really cool. I think it's a cool vibe. Anyways, I decided to give Cree a mixture of personalities that I've dealt with my own birds. So Cree has the loving personality of a pigeon, a little shy, a little reclusive, but will always want to hang out with you. And the crack-headedness of a butcher bird. I mean, again, butcher birds are sweet birds, but their claws hurt and they bite, but they mean no real harm. They just want to vibe. It's just how they communicate. Now, last character. Oh boy, this one's a doozy. Philly. What is Philly? I don't think it was ever really established what Philly is. Like, I hate its antenna. Like, what is that supposed to be? A little leg? Also, if you've ever looked up some art from Deltora Quest, you would find the design they did there for Philly looks like a mixture of AI art and a Furby. And I hate it. Would you go to sleep with this next to you? Because I surely weren't. And I don't understand how Jasmine would have dealt with this. But, yeah, no, that's not for me. Philly, I believe, should not have as much as a personality as what they've given it in Deltora Quest. So, therefore, Philly is just an entity that exists. It exists to rile up Leif and Barda. Like, its whole goal is to just be as weird and as creepy as possible to anyone but Jasmine. Like, Philly loves Jasmine with their heart and souls. But, yeah, no. I mean, it's got a personality, it's just more reclusive. I don't really know. Philly is Philly. Okay, I'll give up my secret. Philly's made of spiders. Okay? My friend gave me an idea, and I ran with it. Philly is not one entity. Philly is multiple entities. Philly is made up of thousands of little spiders. Like, you know those clusters of, I don't know what they're called. We call them daddy long legs, but they call them something else somewhere else. But it's just like a cluster of daddy long legs that joined together. When you touch Philly, it's itchy. They are itchy. And for some odd reason, when Jasmine saved Philly's life, Philly decided this is the person we need to be around. This is our rock. This is our home. And so Philly lives with Jasmine. It resides on Jasmine's shoulder most of the time. Cree could give less than two shits about Philly. Maybe Cree has taken a couple of bites out of Philly, but upon finding out that there are multiple little Philly creature things, Cree has decided, I will no longer take any more bites out of you. That is way too weird for me, and I am a bird. Look, the best way I can put this is I love Philly and I hate Philly. And I hope you feel the same way. Anyways, that wraps up my Deltora Quest video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I want to do more of this. I want to make more characters. I especially want to focus on the Grey Guards. Like, they don't wear pants. You look at that and you tell me if they wear pants, because they sure as hell do not wear pants. Sorry, I just needed a moment to calm down. Anyways, if you like that video and you want to see more, especially more Deltora Quest content, please like and subscribe and comment below. Or if you have any suggestions for me, maybe if you want to see some Ben 10 stuff, like and subscribe and comment below. But if you like the vibes of me and my videos, like and subscribe and comment below. Thank you, bye!